Hello and welcome to this week's Compass Point. I don't know when you are watching this, but I'm recording it here in my basement on Tuesday, September 1. Hard to believe that September is already upon us. I've often wondered why January 1 is New Year's Day. When you think about it, it seems as though September 1 is a much more fitting day for the beginning of a new year. September is a time of transition. And we especially experience that if we are parents of children who are attending school. Perhaps some of us are teachers. It's a time of change. It's a time that signals the end of the more relaxed pace of life in the summertime, and for many of us, a return to a busier schedule. So September 1, I think it's helpful and, in fact, appropriate for us to consider this as a New Year's Day. It's always a time of transition. And transitions are never easy. There's always some uncertainty, and especially this year, I think that is associated with the return to the school year. Many questions about how that will go, whether school should even open, what kind of distancing rules or mask-wearing protocols there will be. It's a time of stress for a lot of people, which is why I thought I would spend this week's Compass Point reflecting on how, in spite of all of our plans and all of our strategies, there is an overarching plan and purpose that God has for our lives. I was thinking about this as I read Proverbs 16, verse 9. Listen to that verse with me as I read it to you. In his heart a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. I really like that verse because it affirms both how we plan, and we appropriately and responsibly make plans, but on top of all of that, and in and through all of that, it's the Lord who determines our steps. There's a lot of comfort and reassurance in that. It makes me think about how so often in the Bible we meet characters who are going through difficult times, seasons of prolonged waiting. They're in a time of trouble and lament. I think of Joseph, for instance, who, if you know the story, grew up in what could certainly be called a dysfunctional family, full of jealousy, hatred. His brothers wanted to kill him, sold him as a slave. He was brought to Egypt, where he spent many years forgotten, falsely accused, languishing away in prison. But we read in the book of Genesis that the Lord was with Joseph. He wasn't forgotten. And in spite of all of the plans to mistreat or forget Joseph, the Lord fulfilled his purpose, so much so that Joseph emerged as the second in command in all of Egypt after a season of waiting and struggling. It makes me think, too, of that passage in Jeremiah 29, where we read of how God has plans for his people to prosper them, not to harm them, plans to give them hope and a future. It's important to remember that message from the Lord was given to exiles in Babylon. And along with that word of hope and encouragement, the Lord told his people that they would spend another 70 years in Babylonian exile, a long season of difficulty and struggle. But the Lord had plans for his people. And I want you to know that the Lord has plans for you. That in spite of all of our uncertainty, all of our questions, all of our fear, the Lord has plans for us. And even if the plans that we have are wrong or misguided or inadequate, the Lord directs our steps. That's such an encouraging word of grace and reassurance, because it affirms that God is working in and through all of the uncertainty. He is with us in all of the transitions to accomplish his will. So I hope that this time of transition is one that gives you an opportunity to have a real sense of God's goodness and faithfulness. You can trust him as we enter this new season. I look forward to sharing more about that with you this coming Sunday and in future messages. In the meantime, my friends, be well and be blessed.